Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Veil background information. Today we're doing a character profile. It's another Viper Clan one, unfortunately, but next month I'll start introducing you to the characters of Reciprocity, which you can read on Wattpad, and that'll be mad and fun, and have better pictures, except Ray. But we're going to be discussing Vanya Reka, who is from Snake in the Water, which will be out in December. But as always, I give you a brief quote from one of the stories they're in, then I give you the idea I had behind creating them and stuff, and then I'll give you their character profile. He is a Viper Clan character, but because he's a partner, I hadn't actually done his full profile before, so this is the first profile he has, although in future he'll have a more fuller one up on Patreon. So if you want to subscribe to my Patreon and get access to that, as well as access to the first part of uh, Snake in the Water when I release that later this year. Do check out my Patreon. I have a lot of if you just sponsor for $1 a month, you get access to nearly all of my stuff. There's only a couple of things that are for the higher tiers, and so yeah, me attempting to advertise very badly here. But let's get into it. So Vanya Reka. Vanya Reka, exceptionally talented dancer, but the shyest creature you could imagine meeting. It's no wonder that male Rusalka are hardly ever seen. Quote from Snake in the Water. As you may have noted in listening about Furka, I really was not expecting myself to create Vanya or even really write this story because my mind was so focused on just doing the first and that Vanya was a secondary thought. However, I ended up finding that Vanya was just so adorable, and at the time when I was planning all the books in 2019, I've been watching clips from opera and ballet, and I actually found a full show of the Rite of Spring Ballet, my favourite piece of classical music, and was thinking, what, that although I'm useless regarding music, I thought I could always have something happen in my world. Why a gay Russian ballet dancer? Why not? Why a Rusalka though? Well, when I looked into them, Rusalka are so much more commonly female, and my father had found a Russian series to watch which had included a Rusalka that fascinated me. This was Gogol, and I had been really enjoying it with my dad, and it introduced a lot of things that were truly fascinating. And Rusalka are always something that I thought of as fascinating because they aren't always what they seem, and they're quite vicious. So I ended up adding my own ideas to them, making them not just spiritual creatures, but with more demonic origins. And I was also finding myself weirdly matching them to Suriname toads and seahorses in my universe. That must sound very strange, but yeah, I'll leave it that bit at that. You can understand why when you read the story if you do. So Rusalka in my universe are much more bizarre in my universe, but with Vanya I just thought that I wanted something different. I was writing another one of my gay love stories, and well, it ended up being tragic. And well, I didn't want it to be, but the facts I'd already laid out were laid out. I love Vanya a lot though. He's sweet and nervous and anxious and just in need of protecting, and I'm happy when he and Furka are together. But of course, it's a tragic story, so hate me for it. Name Vanya Reka. Position ballet dancer. Story featured in Snake in the Water. Role love interest. Gender male. Description beautiful, tall, lean, feminine looking man with long black hair and pale skin. His skin can turn green and blue when he gets nervous, and he returns to his Rusalka form that is more smooth skinned and sort of froggy. He has aqua coloured eyes, and his general expression is shy and fearful. Realm the Veil abilities can breathe and live underwater. As a male, he can carry his offspring on his skin to keep them safe, but is likely to be eaten alive by his children and possibly even his own mate. Master unclear, personality shy, fearful. He likes to dance because it's something he can do that takes his mind away from the fear and anxiety he has for having left his waterways. He is very loyal to his companions, but often seeks them to guide him. And when he gets comfortable, he can get very giggly and is overall rather sweet. Relations unknown. History: when the Kromorski dragon was taking over the Eastern Vale, many beings reveled in many many beings reveled that demons might get a chance to prey on all creatures, and for the Rusalka it was a mixed bag. Some communities felt they would be in danger and so refused to leave their waterways and let themselves be seen for fear they would be hunted for sport by the demons or worse. The males were being guarded and made more important as they became rare. Vanya was already quite aware that he did not want to be eaten alive by his offspring, by demons, or a mate. He was certainly not interested in this world of waiting for a female to choose him, be obedient to them, and then die, especially when he knew his heart did not beat for them. He had often come up with his sisters to watch them charm men, and his looks and soft voice meant men thought he was one of his sisters, and when he would see them showing interest and try to reach out for him, his heart would quicken and his sisters would muse that he was a better lord than them. But then he did something he should not have done. Only the daughters are supposed to come out and dance, but he wanted to dance with them, and he did, and his mother was furious to the point she threw him out of their waterway. His only choice would be to find another pond, and thereby his destiny being eaten alive or to live amongst the others. He did find something rare, a dance instructor that saw his rarity and his talent. He was soon learning ballet, and pretty good at it. By luck, his troupe went into the bigger cities and began to mingle with the others doing entertainment, and this is where he was found and rescued by the werewolf Tender Gabor. He had seen that Rusalka was keeping secrets, and he was at risk of being preyed upon. So, but Gabor began to protect him, seeing him as close to his own sister in their innocence and delicateness. So, as werewolves and Rusalkas do not hunt or harm each other, Vanya was protected by Gabor and guided by him slowly away from the performances in the Eastern Vale. And suddenly, Gabor paid and managed to get his remaining pack and his companions out of the Red Vale and into the Freed Vale. Vanya stuck with Gabor. He made sure no one would hurt him, and they ended up keeping low and keeping fed with Picard's theatre group. And here, Thurk and Viper would become to be conductor for the rather mishmash small-time setup, and immediately Vanya would be drawn to him. Final comments. So the last letter has just been published, so you can find it if you search for it on Amazon. Hint, hint. Search for books or Kindle, and the snake on the front should be the big clue. As for this story, Snake in the Water, is a short that is not only complete but due for publication in December 2024. So if you're interested in their tragedy, hold out for then. Or you could sponsor my Patreon and get a bigger sneak peek on the story. But I hope you enjoyed my runaway brain on this one. I'll give the Viper Clan a break in the next few ones and advertise some characters that you can meet on Wattpad. Wahahaha. Thank you for listening.